welcome back. This is another episode of Dealership Digest. I'm your host, Chris Paulino, with my co host, Tia Lentini. And today we're talking about overcoming the objections at your dealership, right? Because we get objections all the way around, whether it be in our service department, our sales department, our receptionist is getting objections, our BDC department, our internet sales team, or whoever, our salesmen. We're all getting objections. And we have to be able to overcome those so that we can, set appointments, close the deal, and, get things done. Ain't that right, Tia?
Yeah, totally correct. They always say the best salespeople get the most no's too. So it's definitely something that we always, even now being in sales for over 10 years, it's still kind of hard to hear. But, with some training and, some knowledge on the subject, you can overcome those objections and get more yeses than you would, ever before.
Yeah, and I like what you said there. The best salespeople get the most no's, right? Because you really have to keep going for no's, and you have to really understand why your customers buy so that you're closing to the right things in the first place. And I think that's, the biggest fault for salespeople is, they close towards features, they close towards brochure language. They don't truly understand their customers. They don't truly understand why customers are there to buy their products in the first place. And because of this, they're closing, to the wrong things. They're pitching features that don't really tie towards the customer's, emotions and benefits. So because of all these things, they just, can't overcome the objection because they're not doing it in the right way, right?
For sure. And I know we've talked about this in past shows and stuff about how our car buying experience, my husband and I went to a car dealership. The guy did not qualify us, did not ask us, any questions about our wants or needs or anything like that. It was kind of just, you want to go for a test drive? Sure, why not? We didn't buy the car from there, needless to say, but it just kind of gave me the perspective that there's a lot of salespeople out there that are working in these nice dealerships and that aren't just going through with the sales process properly. They're not qualifying the customer. They're just kind of, I almost want to say like getting too excited. Like they just want to get the deal. So they skip steps. And when you skip steps, you're not going to close. I mean, normally anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you skip steps to the sales process, you really do yourself a, injustice because you're not learning your customer's emotions. You're not going through a proper interview and qualify. You're not, seeing what kind of price point your customer needs to be at, what they're going to be using the vehicle, the RV, the boat, the motorcycle, whatever they're buying from your dealership. You don't know why they are there. And that's the first thing you need to focus on is why my customers buy in the first place, right? Your customers are buying because they have problems in their life that they're trying to solve, right? They have a car that's old and broken and the brakes feel bad and, it's rusted out. They don't feel safe with their family in that vehicle anymore. Maybe they had twins or triplets or more kids and their car doesn't fit them anymore. They need a van or SUV, kind of something like your position, right? You had to go from a car to a van, right? Because, your life changes, right? So you have to know why your customers are buying in the first place. It's not because you just came out with the new GPS feature. It's not because you just came out with the new, panoramic window. Those might be nice features that a customer will enjoy, but that's not why they're buying. They're buying because of their own personal needs, their own personal wants, and things that they need changed in their lives.
And I think another thing too is, with all the data and stuff we have now, it's so crucial that salespeople start researching their customer. I know we've talked about, getting online and like seeing where your customers are spending their time and trying to put your marketing budget there. And I think it's, the same for salespeople. You need to make sure you're hanging out in these places that these people are going, if that's a local Facebook group, you need to be on there. You need to be talking, socializing. You need to be listening more like, more than ever. Gary Vee talks about this as well, how rather than using social all the time, he really likes to listen on social and see how people are like interacting with different things and what they're saying about different things. And you can get a lot of knowledge from that pretty quick. So I would definitely recommend that to any salesperson out there who's trying to learn about their customer, trying to get a better grasp of a different demographic or a target audience or stuff like that, because you're going to get like these little golden nuggets of information that is going to help you somewhere down the line. If it's not today, it's definitely going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's definitely a good point. And there's a couple different things. I've heard sayings like, customers don't care about what you want until they know how much you care or something like that. It's, excuse me, somewhere along those lines of something like that. And, they also say you have two ears and one mouth for a reason, right? You've all heard that possibly. And the idea is you got to listen to your customers, listen to why they are buying, listen to their emotions, their wants, their needs, why they are at your dealership in the first place. Because they didn't come 3 weeks from now, they didn't come 1 year from now, they came today. They gave you an internet lead today, and that means they're ready to buy today. If you don't close the deal with them, it's because you didn't take them through the proper sales process and close them towards their emotions so that you could get the deal done today. Easier said than done, I can agree with that, but that is mostly the case. If your customers, your internet leads, your walk-ins, your call-ins, they come in, they go through a demo with you, they go through a sales process with you, and they don't buy, it's probably a misstep by the salesperson, whether it be closing towards the wrong things, showing the wrong product at the wrong price point. There's something that went wrong in that deal.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more because from what I've noticed just being in the business for so long, some people they don't even really know what they want. They're just looking online, they're inquiring about something, but you might be, eons away from what their payment range is or, what they even need. So it's very important to qualify the customer and take them through the entire sales process and not be afraid to ask the tough questions. Some newer sales people, they don't really have that confidence, but the sooner you grow that and the sooner that you just conquer that fear and start asking the tough questions, the better off you're going to be. And I know Katie, the car lady, told us about a very interesting book, which I think you're reading as well, right, Chris? Crucial Conversations, is that correct?
Yeah, Crucial Conversations. Yeah, it's a good book. It's a good book so far. I'm not all the way through it, but it just talks about how you can have different crucial conversations to, move forward. It's not all about sales because it gives different examples on different kinds of conversations, but it gives you a good idea of how you can have crucial conversations to move the whatever you're doing forward in a sense.
Awesome. Yeah. So basically, one of the main things not to do when trying to overcome an objection is cowering in fear and just going back and letting the customer walk away. Being afraid of doing the TO, being afraid of asking for the sale. I know in your sales career, I think you were asking for the sale at least 6 times, I think, before the customer left.
I'll ask the sale until they walk out of my office, you know what I mean? So I'll keep going and just keep asking until they almost get annoyed because what I found early in my dealership sales career is I was that salesperson that was like, if they're going to buy from me, I did a great demo, I did a great sales process. If they're going to buy from me, they know what they want. They're going to call me back and they're going to buy, right? I think a lot of salespeople go through that early in their career. And then what happens is they don't buy. They leave. They go to another dealership. They buy from another salesperson. You call them back in, a week or 2 weeks when you muster up the courage to call them back. And they're like, oh, yeah, sorry, I already bought from the XYZ dealership. You were great, but we just found something we liked better somewhere else. And the fact is every dealership's got the same damn cars. You can get somebody in, a vehicle that meets their needs if you just do that needs assessment and if you go for that close. My problem was I was kind of letting them guide me through the sale. I'd show them the car they wanted to see. As soon as they come in, I'd say, hey, let's go take a look. Let's take a test drive. And as you said, not every customer knows what they want, right? Some customers need to be at a $200 or $300 payment, and they're looking at a $40,000 car. You don't know what you want because you're never going to get that $40,000 car for a $100, $200, even $300 payment, right? So it just kind of depends on, hey, I understand that you want the $40,000 car, but let me ask you this. What are you going to be doing with the vehicle, right? Now you get into an interview and qualify. Oh, we're going to be doing X, Y, and Z. Oh, okay. What kind of price point do you need to be at? What monthly budget can you afford, right? How are you going to be using it? Where are you going to be going with it? And asking all these who, what, when, where, and why questions so you know what the customer is looking for, so you know what not to do in the objection when they give you an objection, right? Because if they tell me they care about X, Y, and Z, and all I do is pitch features and benefits that don't really apply to X, Y, and Z, then I'm not talking to my customer's emotions, and that's not what I want to do when I'm in the close, when I'm trying to overcome an objection, because the reason customers buy, they buy off emotion, and then they justify with logic, right? We've all done it before. New iPhone comes out. We got iPhone 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll have, iPhone 1 through 20. We don't really need a new phone, but emotionally hey, new phone's out, gotta buy it. How do I justify it? Oh, my phone's going slow. Oh, my camera's not as nice. Oh, whatever we tell ourselves, and then we go buy the new phone, right? Same thing at dealerships.
Yeah, and I think you actually have a word track that I love that you use, especially in the Sell More, Live More training. It's oh my gosh, what is it? I can't think of it. I hear what you're saying, but is that correct? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to overcome objections, because what I've learned is, you can't win an argument, right? You never win an argument. If you win an argument, then it just makes the other side more defensive, and you take your point, they take their point, and we go separate ways. I'm like, yeah, I won the argument, but I didn't really move the sale forward. I didn't get them to agree with my thought process, right? I just won the argument. So I didn't win in the sense, right? If I lose the argument, well, I lost the argument. Again, we're two separate sides, no win-win, right? So you can't win an argument, and I think the best way to overcome an objection is to sidestep it. And what I mean by sidestepping is, well, I hear what you're saying. I hear your objection, but let me ask you this. I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. Now, if a customer comes in and they drive a car and they're looking for a van and the car's not safe for their family, say this is their emotions, the car's not safe for their family anymore, their family's growing and they need a van because, they have a bigger family, need more storage space, need more X, Y, and Z, then I'll say something like, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. Why do you want to keep staying in a car that doesn't fit your family's needs? It's too small for you. Your kids can't fit. Your gear can't fit. When you go grocery shopping, you have to make 2 trips because you can't fit all the groceries in your vehicle. Why do you want to keep putting yourself through that instead of just buying this van today? It's at the right price. It's perfect. You test drove it. You love it. Just sign right here, buy the van today, and stop torturing yourself. Right? So a close like that, overcoming their objection that way, I didn't overcome their objection by, what if they say something like, oh, we can't buy today. I didn't say, why can't you buy today? Right? Well, uh, well, right. Okay, now I'm getting in an argument, right? Why didn't you buy today? Well, why do you care about why are you asking me why I didn't make a decision? I'm a grown man. Don't ask me why I didn't buy the vehicle, right? Why didn't you sell it to me? I might get defensive. I might get so defensive that I'm not buying from you regardless now, right? Because I'm getting into an argument. You're meeting my objection head on instead of sidestepping it. Now, if that customer says, well, I got to think about it. I'm not buying today. Well, I hear what you're saying. But let me ask you this. Why do you want to keep torturing yourself? Why do you want to keep driving a car that's not right for you, not right for your family, not safe, brakes are bad? Why do you want to keep doing that to you and your family? Right? Buy this van today. It's the perfect price. It's the perfect car. You know it. I saw how much your eyes lit up when you drove the damn thing. Just buy it today and stop torturing yourself. Sign right here. Right? That's a much better way to overcome the objection than saying, whoa, hey, why didn't you buy it? I hate that rebuttal sales style.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I agree. And I really like it because it's like you're trying to help the customer. And, we've talked about that before too in past shows, how the millennial buyer wants trust. That's like the most important thing I mean, any buyer, trust is super important, but especially if you're, trying to be in that arena and play ball, you need to be appealing to customers, You need to be showing yourself honest, and trustworthy, and really setting out to help them rather than just the sleazy salesperson that is just trying to sling another unit. So I really like that quote.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's one thing too. You see a lot of salespeople out there, a lot of sales trainings, and I think you can learn a lot from all. I think you can learn stuff from all of them, but there's a lot of sales styles out there that are very rebuttal kind of based, right? It's about having um, so many rebuttals that your customer just can't out rebuttal you, right? You just have so many rebuttals that your customer gets so tired of hearing your rebuttals that they finally buy. It almost feels like that's how some of the sales styles are. And to me, I'm just like, that doesn't make sense to me, man, because I'm here to take care of my customer. I'm here to get them a vehicle, a boat, a motorcycle, a RV, or whatever they're looking for that meets their needs. That when they leave my lot, they're like, man, that was the best decision we ever made. This vehicle's perfect, perfect price, great salesman, perfect RV, perfect boat, perfect motorcycle. I'm there to meet my customer's needs. And when you do that, when you learn their needs in the interview, qualify, when you pull those emotions out, and then when you close towards those needs, those emotions, and you use that to overcome their objections, then they feel like you actually care about them. Because the truth is, you do actually care about them, right? If your family comes in and you're driving a car and you need to be in a van, it's kind of doing you a disservice for me as a salesperson to let you leave, right? Because now I know you left, you're driving in a car you hate, your kids hate it, your family hates it, you and your wife or husband or whatever it is hate it, right? You can't grocery shop properly, you can't go to the soccer games because you don't got enough space, whatever the case is. I let you leave my store without fixing your huge problem you have as a customer. So what I need to know is, hey, why are you here? What's your emotions? What do you need? Where do you need to be? Let me find the perfect vehicle for you that's going to meet those needs. And then once I do that, buy it from me, right?
Yeah, and think about the surveys that those rebuttal-based salespeople probably get. The reviews they get. Not as good as what we're talking about, being the salesperson that's really set out to be like the concierge to help the person and fix their problem and stuff. I feel like that person is going to outshine those people any day of the week.
Yeah, and another thing I think that kind of mindset does for you is it helps you go after more than one no. Right as you said earlier, the salespeople that make the most money are the ones that can go, past 1, 5, 10 no's and finally get to the yes. And when you're a salesperson that has the mindset like, hey, I want to help my customer. I don't want to do a disservice to them. I know this customer needs my vehicle, motorcycle, boat, car, boat, whatever it is. I know they need it because of my interview and qualify, and I pulled out their emotions, and wow, they definitely need my vehicle, product, whatever from my dealership. So now it's up to me to go past 5, 7, 10 no's to get to the yes, because if I don't want to do my customer a disservice, then I have to get to the yes. And if I don't get to the yes, I do my customer a disservice. And if I'm a salesperson that actually cares about my customer and wants to get them what they need and make their life better, then I need to get to the yes.
Yeah, for sure. And my husband's in catering, and he always talks about how people come in and they want, medium eggs or dippy eggs to go and stuff. But he knows that they're going to crack
as soon as dippy eggs.
Me too. He knows that they're going to crack as soon as as soon as they get out the door, and it's going to be a big mess. So he'll switch them to scrambled. But he tries to set out and show them that he's trying to help them, and it's their decision and stuff like that. And that's what it reminds me of. Like, even though these people think they might want something, you as the sales professional know what they need, probably more than they know themselves sometimes. So you need to step up and you need to be that person that guides them and helps them, or, they might end up buying an RV that does not fit their needs. And a year later, they're going to be so unhappy and so dissatisfied. Everybody's going to, it's not going to be good for anybody. So.
Yeah, this is Dealership Digest. We're talking about overcoming objections. We'll catch you on the next one so that your dealership can sell more units than ever before. Thank you for watching Dealership Digest, presented by IMR.
For more episodes, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page.
And if you need digital training for your dealership, visit us online at imr.training
or infiniteMediaResources.com.